and 16 teams come down to 4. What will happen next? Hello and welcome to this YouTube channel, and well, today we are going to be talking a bit of Rugby World Cup, aren't we? The Rugby World Cup semi-finals are here. After doing the first video I did, which were all about the group stages, now this is where we're going to be talking about the semi-finals and final, getting closer to realise who will win that Rugby World Cup. Who knows? Will it be Argentina? Will it be England? Will it be South Africa? Or will it be the All Blacks of New Zealand? That is all of this is going to be. Obviously, we do know South Africa, New Zealand and England have already won the Rugby World Cup before. Argentina have never. So if Argentina could cause like a miracle, more or less, and end up winning it, Argentina would have had a brilliant year. I mean, winning the World Cup in 2022, winning the Rugby World Cup in 2023, you cannot get as better as that for, well, one country. And Argentina could complete it. They could do it. But who knows? As rightio then, let's get underway and let's talk about the first semi-final of the night. So the first game sends us obviously to the Stade de France, where the semi-final weekend will begin between Los Pumas of Argentina and the All Blacks of New Zealand. And, well, on paper, this surely should be a New Zealand victory. On paper, this should surely be New Zealand. I mean, New Zealand have been one of the best teams in the Rugby World Cup. Even if they did lose the opening game against France, they still are one of the best teams. There's a stat here which you might not actually believe. New Zealand have scored 281 points in 5 games. Hear that, 5 rugby games, New Zealand have scored 281 points. They've only conceded 57. And I know 57 does sound a lot in terms of rugby and so on, but over 5 games, 57 isn't a lot. I mean, yeah, that is what I can say. New Zealand conceded 27 points against France when they lost to France 27-10. That is about a half of that. Half of the 57 conceded were only on 1 game. So all on the other 4 games, they played very, very well to obviously get the victory. And to be fair, I think it was only Ireland and France. That was the only 2 teams that caused a little bit of trouble. Obviously, against Ireland, they did concede 24. They won that game 28-24. Against France, they conceded 27, 27-13. So altogether, 27 and 13, they only conceded 20 points in the whole group, which is pretty impressive. Can only concede 20 points. That is pretty impressive. However, there for Los Pumas, similar to New Zealand, they did finish in 2nd place, and they did score significantly less comparing to, well, the All Blacks. They did score 156 and conceded 86. Saying that though, they did lose the first game at Argentina, similar to Finger. They did lose to England, 27 points to 10, which was pretty much a kick fest until Argentina scored a try late on. But either way, they weren't going to win that. But yeah, which is the opposite there with Argentina. Altogether, Argentina have conceded 42 points in Pool D. They conceded 27 points against Japan. So if that is the case, right, if they conceded 27 against Japan, they will need to, well, buckle up if they're playing against New Zealand. I mean, they did beat Wales by 29-17, which did boost them up to why they're here. But one weakness with Argentina, they've only played easy teams. Michael Scobala's team has only played Michael Chekler's team altogether has only played against easy teams. I mean, you had England, who are in the semi-final, but seeing them, they are absolutely shocking. And I will say that now as an Englishman, England are a shocking team in this World Cup. So altogether, they've played England, Samoa, Chile, Japan and Wales. They are not pretty great teams. They're not good teams. New Zealand, they've played France, they've played Ireland in 2 of the 5 games, who are easily in the top 4 teams in the best of the world. So that pretty much says it all there for the All Blacks. But what it will be a unique fact is, well, it's going to be the referee's first game, Angus Gardner's first Rugby World Cup knockout game, so that should be interesting depending how he will referee this game in particular with Argentina versus New Zealand. And one of New Zealand's eldest players, Buden Barrett, it's his 19th time he will face Argentina. I can't remember, I don't think I got that right, the Buden Barrett. If so, I am sorry. But it is his 19th time he's playing against Argentina. That's impressive. That is impressive. He must have been playing rugby for a defo long time if he is playing against Argentina there for the 19th time. But what can I say? This game should be a belter. However, I am going to say the All Blacks will win. I mean, obviously, it's the All Blacks. They are one of the best teams in rugby. So I'm going to say Argentina, I think, will give them a game. Don't get me wrong. But I think it will be something like a 17-30 victory for the All Blacks. Something like that. I do think Argentina will go double digits. I think they will score 10 and above. But I think with New Zealand, they will do far better and they will rip through the Argentines' defence maybe about 50 minutes through and score about four times during that process. So I'm going to say New Zealand will probably score 30 or above. Argentina will score 10 or above. Let's call it. Let's say it will be like a 50-35. It will be a 15-35 game to the All Blacks, for my opinion. So that's semi-final 1 complete. Bring on semi-final 2. Which is yet indeed back here at the Stade de France on the Saturday this time for the game between England and South Africa. The Springboks versus the Roses. This is how this game will be. But, well, on paper, everybody thinks that South Africa are the huge favourites. And to be fair, I also think they're huge favourites to win this one. They're just a better team overall, South Africa. Obviously, they're the number 1 seed. They are the best team in the world now, as of when I'm ranking this. So, obviously, if that is the case, South Africa have better players, will have a better team. Surely they should beat England. I think they will do. But what we do know there, some weaknesses there for England, and which is why I think South Africa will beat England, is England have played fairly easy teams. They haven't really played anyone hard. And it was similar this in Japan when we played in 2019. We didn't play anyone hard up until we got to this stage when we played against New Zealand. And, well, for my opinion, that performance against New Zealand was the best I've ever seen England play. They were brilliant against New Zealand. Absolutely brilliant. And New Zealand didn't lose a game for like 5 years up until then. Then England beat them in Japan. We went to the final. And, well, we lost to South Africa. But that is the thing. England have played fairly easy teams. I mean, the toughest 2 teams are either Argentina and Fiji. And what we do know there with Argentina and Fiji, Argentina in the semi-final, Fiji was an underrated team. And, well, we knew they would get in. I just didn't think that Australia would be the ones going out instead of Fiji. So that is what it is. England, well, they've played Argentina, Japan, Samoa, Chile and Fiji in their process. However, there for South Africa, they did finish second. So they did finish below England where they were altogether. However, South Africa did have harder teams. They obviously had Ireland and Scotland altogether in their group, which was always going to be a hard group. And to be fair there for the Scottish, I feel sorry for them because they had a very hard group. The fact that they had the world number 1 of Ireland and the current now world number 1 of South Africa in that group. And, well, we know what happened next. South Africa and Ireland did beat Scotland, therefore making Scotland out of the competition, which is a bit of a shame for them. But, well, that's how sports is run at times. Sometimes it can be like that. It's the luck of the draw, innit? And, well, they had a very unlucky path to the draw. But, well, what we do know there for South Africa altogether scored 179 tries, 179 points in this tournament. They've only conceded 62, which is very good of them. They must have a very good defence. However, there for England are same, and actually England have done better than South Africa. The fact that they've scored 180, however, they have conceded 63. So that is just one more than South Africa in the conceded rankings. But still, it is still very good. And like I said, I will refer to this earlier, this is the revenge game there for England, how they did obviously play South Africa in the World Cup in Japan, and they ended up knowing about it, and we got pretty much battered against South Africa, 32-12 the game. It could have been a lot more there for the Springboks. It really could have. But still, I believe England will still want that revenge. Obviously, Owen Farrell's men will be coming into this game, winning all the 5 games, thinking, hang on, if we can win all 5, we can surely beat South Africa. It's not as straightforward as that. But they will still have the mindset to say, right, go on, let's see how we can do. The last meeting there for this game finished 27-13 there for South Africa. And that was, well, a long time ago, let's say. That was a very long time ago. That was 26th of November 2022, so almost last year. But what I am going to say for England, they are the last hope. England are the last hope for this tournament for the Northern Hemisphere teams. All the Northern Hemisphere teams are out. France, England, Ireland. Well, not England. France, Ireland, Scotland. All of them. Wales. They are all out. So if that's the case, England are the only hope so that then at least a Northern Hemisphere team can win the Rugby World Cup. Because if not, it will be going yet again to a Southern Hemisphere team. And well, Southern Hemisphere, they are dominant in the world of rugby. Very dominant. South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, all of them, they are still, South Africa, New Zealand, Australia, they are the main three teams in the Southern Hemisphere that tend to dominate this competition. And well, it does look like that will be. The danger man, however, I think for England, there are some danger men that England have to, well, be careful of. Obviously, you've got Faf de Klerk, you've got Seyi Khaleesi, the captain. However, I'm going to say the danger man is Eben Etzebeth. Because the way how he played against France was unbelievable. He was there and drilling past that French defence, drilling past them. And that is how he did score that try, which ended up giving South Africa the win. But he just drilled through that French defence. And France's defence is usually good. It weren't against South Africa. South Africa just let him drill. Obviously, with Seyi Khaleesi and Faf de Klerk's help, obviously found a way for Eben Etzebeth to score the try. And what did give the Springboks the win. And yeah, I just think because of that, South Africa will have a very dominant display. They are very good in the Northern Hemisphere. And actually, which is quite ironic, New Zealand and South Africa, the last time they met was actually the game before the Rugby World Cup. Well, the game before for them two sides. New Zealand did end up beating... South Africa did end up beating New Zealand by 30 points to 7. Yeah, that much. 35 points to 7. So they clearly dominated New Zealand at Twickenham. That's the Northern Hemisphere. Surely South Africa will know how to adapt and play in the Northern Hemisphere, which will then give them a chance for England. So even if England are the Northern Hemisphere team, I don't think we'll stand a chance against the South Africa team. And personally, I think South Africa will win this World Cup. I think altogether, they've got the strength, they've got the depth, they've got the desire, they've got the passion. And even if All Blacks will, well, play very well, I still think South Africa will win this World Cup. So I'm going to say altogether, this will go somewhat, probably about a 26-10 finish there for South Africa. I think England will try their best to try and pressure South Africa like they did against New Zealand and Japan. However, it's a worse squad than they had. Therefore, I think they will feel the consequences of that South African team. So I'm going to say, like I said, South Africa will be going through to the grand final playing against New Zealand. And rightio then, because of that, we will get going, and I hope you did like that video. If you do say something, it would really mean a lot to me, but you don't have to. As I shall go, see you soon, stay safe, talking to you then in a while. See ya, and bye-bye.